Okay, so we've all heard the endless talk about AI taking our jobs, right? But today, we're going to go way deeper than that. We're moving past the simple job loss story to talk about something much bigger, a fundamental reshaping of our society. And it's not based on wealth or status, but on intelligence itself.
So that leads us to the big question, the one that's really at the heart of this whole thing. Is this incredible technology making us all smarter, kind of lifting everyone up together? Or is it quietly forging a new kind of hierarchy, a class system based not on what you do, but on how you think?
The name for this phenomenon is intelligence stratification. And, it's a fancy term, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Think of it like this. For some people, AI is like a rocket booster for their brain. For others, it becomes a crutch. And that single difference, well, it's creating this new invisible divide that could seriously define the next 100 years.
All right, let's break this down. Why is this divide so different from anything we've ever seen before? We are talking about a gap in pure, raw cognitive ability. And the scary part? It's widening, fast. In the past, if there was an ability gap, you could close it, right? If someone was more skilled or knowledgeable, you could just catch up. You could hit the books, work harder, get more experience. The path was there. But AI? AI is changing the rules of the game completely. And this is the part you really need to get. AI doesn't just add to a person's ability, it multiplies it. That's a huge difference. It means the gap between those who use it well and those who don't, it isn't just growing, it's growing exponentially. A tiny difference in skill today can become a massive, unabridgeable chasm like tomorrow.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this multiplier effect, we have to understand what makes AI a totally different kind of tool. I mean, it's unlike anything we've ever built before.
Just look at this comparison. Think about it. Hammers, computers, heck, even the internet. They all helped us do stuff faster. They made the operator more efficient. But AI is the first technology in human history to directly amp up our ability to think. It doesn't just enhance the operator, it enhances the thinker.
So for people who are already deep thinkers, people with strong reasoning skills, AI becomes what you could call a cognitive extension. It's not just some tool you pull out of a toolbox. No, it becomes like an external part of your own mind. It's like having a super brain on call 24/7. And this is where it gets really interesting and maybe a little scary. It brings us to the most critical part of this whole explainer, the rise of two totally different kinds of AI users. And the habits they're forming right now are creating two completely separate futures. Okay, first up, you've got the multiplier. This person doesn't just ask AI for the answer. No way. They use it as a thinking partner. They're using it to chew through massive amounts of information, to pressure test their own ideas, and to build brand new systems and frameworks. They're basically using AI to think bigger and faster than any single human ever could on their own. And then you have the dependent. This user, they're basically outsourcing their thinking to the AI. They use it to write a simple email, summarize a report they don't want to read, or just find a quick answer. They're treating it as a substitute for actual mental effort. And the result? Well, their own cognitive abilities, that thinking muscle we all have, it can actually start to get weaker over time. It can atrophy. This table just lays it all out, crystal clear. It's not about the tech itself, it's all about the mindset. You have the tool designer, whose goal is to build something new, and they see AI as a partner in creation. Then you have the tool user, who just wants to get a task done, and they see AI as a substitute for effort. One path leads to hugely amplified capabilities, the other leads straight to cognitive dependence. Okay, so let's zoom out now. What happens when you take these individual behaviors and you scale them up across an entire society? The very shape of our economy starts to warp and change. And the economic driver behind this is, well, it's staggering. We're talking about companies seeing the potential to cut their labor costs by 70, 80, even 90%. Look, this isn't some grand conspiracy. It's just what happens in a market with a hyper-efficient new tool. And it has the effect of dramatically speeding up how fast capital and wealth concentrate at the very top. For the last, several decades, we've basically understood our society as looking like this: a diamond. You had a broad, stable middle class, full of professionals, and they were the core of the whole economy. This shape is what supported things like social mobility and general stability.
And this is the shift. It's brilliant as showing what's happening. We're moving away from that diamond and towards something that looks more like a spire. At the very, very top, you have a tiny group of thinkers and creators whose abilities are being supercharged by AI. And below them, a hollowed-out middle class, where tons of those professional jobs have been automated away. And then you have a massive base of people performing more basic tasks that don't need that deep cognitive work.
So if you really understand this massive structural shift, it forces you to completely rethink what the real competition is in the age of AI. It's time to throw that old narrative out the window.
And this is the key takeaway of this entire explainer. The biggest misunderstanding out there is that it's AI versus humans. That's not the game. The real competition is between two groups of people, those who use AI to create and those who depend on AI to complete. So, what skills actually matter in this new world? What's going to be future-proof? It's not about knowing how to code some specific AI model. It's about the quality of your own thinking, your ability to ask really good questions, to think in a structured architectural way, your ability to reason and build mental models. These are the uniquely human skills that AI amplifies. It doesn't replace them. And at the end of the day, it all comes back to you. It comes back to individual agency. Access to these tools, it's becoming universal. So your place in this new social structure isn't going to be determined by if you use AI, but by how you choose to use it, day in and day out. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. When you open up that chat window, are you looking for a partner to help you create something brand new? Or are you just looking for a replacement to do the thinking for you? The answer to that question might just define your future.